Hey there! Welcome to my channel, Journey Through Mental Health. My name is Becca. This channel is dedicated to raising awareness for mental illness and stopping the stigma behind it because there's such a negative connotation that comes along with it that we need to lessen because it's only hurting, it does nothing to help. Stigma is a mark of disgrace that is associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or a person. This leads to stereotypes, and with mental illness, there's a lot of them behind each illness. For people who have depression, it's often viewed as, well, they're just being lazy and this depression is an excuse. It's not the case. When you have depression or somebody has depression, it's so hard to feel motivated to want to do anything. And by calling them lazy, you just make them feel worse about it. And then there's also a lot of stereotype for people who are bipolar. When people hear the word bipolar, they think, oh, everything changes at the flip of a switch. Your mood can go from happy to sad. You can go from angry to just in a depression. It's not the case for that either. And it's really frustrating when you're hearing people talk about that because they're trying to say like, oh, all the emotions you're having are like unreliable. And then a third one that has a lot of the stigma behind it is anxiety. And often with anxiety, people try to say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. You don't need to worry about it. It'll be okay. Well, that makes them more anxious because then they're freaking out like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I'm feeling anxious about it. Oh no, I'm not supposed to feel anxious about it. And it just doesn't help. And it's also really, really not fun when those with mental illness hear people say, just don't be that way. Just don't be sad. Don't be anxious. It doesn't work, and it really affects how people think about themselves. If you ever see me looking down, I have notes on my laptop because I am absolutely scatterbrained and I need organization, especially for when I'm talking about a lot of things at once and I don't want to get anything wrong. For this channel, I'm going to avoid polarizing topics or politics because this information needs to reach everybody because mental illness affects anyone, anywhere, at any time in their life, whether it be themselves or a friend or family member. And I want to make sure that people feel comfortable also watching these videos. And then my content itself is going to consist of my own story, the struggles I've had, how it affected situations in my life that led to drama, as everyone has drama in their life. And I also hope to eventually add other people's stories, and it can be anonymously or they can have me say their name, because I know for me, sharing my story has helped me a million times over feel better about how I go through life and everything like that. And my main goal for this channel is to inspire others to feel brave enough to step out and talk about what they're going through, because I want them to feel comfortable in their own head. And once you understand what's going on in your head, it will help you immensely with feeling better because you understand it's not who you are, it is just a part of you that affects the way you think. And once you understand that, it's really easy to, well, it's not easy, but it makes it easier to adjust your behavior and your thought processes. I also want to express how much getting a diagnosis can help build your confidence. For me, it made me so much more confident and able to just be real with people about who I am. I also will have videos where I'm talking about specific illnesses like depression, anxiety, bipolar, and tell you guys about the descriptions behind them, what the symptoms are, treatments you can get for them. And anytime I'm talking about stuff, I'm not an expert, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychiatrist. I am just someone who's living with mental illness and want to share my experiences and also help people understand the specifics of other illnesses. Because once you start to understand the details of those other illnesses, it can help you understand mental illness as a whole. And all my sources of the information for my videos that I get is going to be in the description, because I want you guys to know I'm not pulling things out of thin air. I'm not being biased. I just want to give factual information because I want to educate people, because the best way for anybody to adjust their thinking is to share knowledge, not to try to push them with emotion. Emotions are helpful, like how passionate I am about this. I hope that shows through, because finding passion is so important throughout life. Anything in life, work, sports, theater, anything requires passion, because it makes you feel more motivated to do things. And now I'll tell you about me, because I want this to be a very personal experience, because I'm just another person who's living with mental illness, and I want to show you that you can be normal with mental illness, as society likes to put it, that this illness does not define you, and it's only a part of who you are, and how it's a part of me. So sharing that, I hope, can help others understand that it doesn't define who they are. And I know I keep saying that a lot, but it's so important to remember that the mental illness is not the person. It is a part of that person. Alrighty, so now about me. I am a sophomore at the University of Iowa. In April of 2019, I was diagnosed with bipolar II disorder. What led me to go get this diagnosis is I could tell there was something wrong with heavy mood swings of depression or super happiness. And my mom was diagnosed with bipolar in 2016, so we already had the thought process of it's probably bipolar, and so it made it really easy to go talk to my doctor and get the official diagnosis along with medication that has been phenomenal in helping me. And also, with a lot of this stuff, it is so important to find support, whether that's family, friends, teachers, anybody who will listen to you and understand what you're going through. And the best way that I found to gain real support is by sharing what goes on in my head and helping them understand that what I'm going through and what I live with is not going to define me in any way, and it helps them understand why I behave the way I do once in a while and why I think in different directions. And them understanding also helps me when I'm going through a big struggle, because they know how to help me. And then also in August of 2019, I started volunteering with the National Alliance of Mental Illness in Johnson County, Iowa. I mainly do tasks involved with the NAMI Walk, which is a national fundraiser to bring awareness for mental illness. I highly encourage you to look up a NAMI Walk near you if you feel passionate about mental illness, because it is a easy way to show your support for loved ones and for yourself, because it's really important to remind yourself that you need to be there for yourself as well. I'm a NAMI Walk team leader, and my team name is the NAMI Night Parrots. I chose the Night Parrots because I like alliteration, so NAMI Night Parrots. And also, the night parrot is a bird native to Australia, and Australia is still going through those devastating fires, and they need support, and that this is kind of my way to bring back that, Australia is going through some struggles, and they need to be in our thoughts. Alrighty, so then down below I'm going to have my NAMI Walk page, and you can feel free to go donate, or you can join my team. Feel no pressure. I don't want the goal of this channel to be getting money for my NAMI Walk page, but anything you can donate to me will help with raising awareness for mental illness, and it's really important that we keep doing this. We've had pushes for raising awareness for the mental illnesses, but it's still not enough. It's not enough on the national scale. Okay, so then that is the end of this video. If you have any questions or if you have suggestions for me, let me know in the comments. And just remember to love yourself and to keep being brave, because what you're going through is valid. Alrighty, have a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good night whenever you're watching this.